Are you ready to gab with Hales Reeves and Leon Wilson? Gabbing.
Hello.
Hello. Gabbing.
Gabbing. Jabbing.
Gabbing.
Jabbing.
Gabbing.
Jabbing. Jabbing. There's nothing like jabbinging.
And why don't anyone sing anymore?
I do it all the time.
Why did the song leave our hearts?
Just
because we can't, some of us can't do it well.
Doesn't mean you shouldn't.
Doesn't mean you shouldn't.
I'm so fed up with that.
Just because you don't have the skill yet doesn't mean you shouldn't.
Yeah. I think everyone should be considered a singer.
I mean, seriously, because anybody can sing.
Yeah.
As long as there's a
Anyone
song in
can
your
sing.
heart.
Yeah, I agree. Anyways, so today we're gonna go over things that are overrated and things that are underrated.
And you already got a taste.
And that
And
was
you already
a
got
little...
a taste. And that was a little niblet. You know, it was underrated when Miley Cyrus said giblets so much.
Oh, sweet giblets.
Why did she
Yeah.
say giblets so much?
Ooh, whoa, whoa, yeah.
Is giblets really a Nashville thing to say, a Tennessee thing to say?
Whoa. I don't, I've never been to Nashville. They have an open carry, so I don't think I will be going to Nashville as much as I'd like to. Yeah.
One time I went to Nashville with my ex and we got strep 2 times.
How long were you there for?
We had double strep. Well, pretty much basically what had happened is like I got strep from someone who I was sleeping with outside of the relationship. And then so they gave me strep. I gave my ex strep. And then I got antibiotics, and then they got on antibiotics, but the antibiotics that they got on weren't strong enough, so they had prolonged strep. So then they gave me strep again, and then they still had strep when we got to Nashville, and then I got really sick, and I was like, damn, I still have strep. And then they got really mad and were really shitty, and we got into a huge fight on that giant bridge in Nashville. And if you know, you know, but you'd never been. So the bitches who are hearing this, you know exactly what I'm talking about, that big ass bridge in Nashville. There's a famous big ass bridge that people like to walk on. It doesn't go anywhere. It stops at one end. I don't know. It was cool, but we got in a huge fight, and then we just like spent like an hour just like walking within like viewing distance of each other, but not talking to each other. It was really terrible. And then when we drove back, we got into a huge fight in front of Dinosaur World.
God.
It was really good.
I feel like the people listening to this, they'll either resonate with the bridge in Nashville, or they'll kind of be like, okay, so that's one of the downsides to poly.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was ethical non-monogamy, so it was worse.
Oh.
It was worse.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So what's on your first overrated? What's your first overrated on the little list?
Yeah, my first on overrated is social media.
Yeah.
At the beginning, no, it wasn't even the beginning of the year. I think it was like the last week in December. And I was just like, this shit is like bad. It's bad. And especially the end of the year, there was just so much like, aha, my life is perfect. Aha. And I
that you were seeing on the social media from other people?
Yeah, everyone's doing their like end of year recap. And I'm all for like, reflecting and understanding what your blessings are and feeling grateful for things.
But it's like my phone has just been, for ever since I had it. I've got my first one in 2011. Okay, never forget. iPhone 4. Huge. I went through like 5 iPhone 4s because I kept cracking all the screens because it was totally glass. Anyway, but it's like a fucking lazy Susan of distraction. Like I'm always constantly like trying to get that serotonin hit because of course I'm a fucking emotional addict. So I'm constantly like, what can I look at? And especially when you're talking about, one app leads to another. It's like once I'm off TikTok, I'm on Instagram. Once I'm off Instagram, I'm on Twitter. Once I'm done with Twitter, once my eyes are bleeding, I'll go
Yeah.
back to TikTok. So I just think it's gonna be so fucking nice when these things don't have a chokehold on everything that I'm doing, especially TikTok. I just love it because I'm a Gemini rising, Virgo
You're
sun,
really
Virgo
good at
moon.
talking to it. I think you're I
I
think
love and
you have
because
fun with it.
I love talking to myself and I'm always talking to myself
Yeah.
and it just feels like it's just like another thing to talk to because I think it's like that also that thing of I usually spend a lot of time by myself and I've always spent a lot of time by myself. So being able to be perceived and seen in those moments that I'm usually in and I feel really comfortable is fun.
Yeah.
But I will say once it is gone, I will feel so much better and I think my brain will feel so much more spacious. But
Yeah.
also I'm ready to not see everybody else's fucking life. Like we know too much. Humans know far too much.
That was the thing
Knowing
for me where I'm like, I feel like this is getting weird and kind of dystopian because I'm learning way too much about too many people that I don't talk to on a day-to-day
and I
basis.
don't give a fuck about.
But the algorithm and the whole design of it makes you want to be invested.
Yeah.
And that's what liking it is. That's investing in it. That's, you know what I mean, consuming it. And it's just like so much that I'm like, why do I know all these details in other people's lives? I'm like, oh, well, I know this person's on vacation because they're posting pictures of them on vacation. And I know this person's sick because they're posting pictures about them being sick. And I know that this person is doing this. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't need to know.
It
And
used to
not,
be
you know what I mean? Like not
yeah.
knowing that and also being like, yeah, I don't need to know. Like, love my friends, but I don't need to know. I don't need to know.
And how much do we really need to know? And it's like that thing of like I feel like social media used to be the thing of, okay, this is fodder so that we can talk about things in real life because I see you in the real. I remember having 15 followers on Instagram and thinking that was enough and knowing the same 5 bitches and going, did you like my photo? Wasn't it nice? I put a sepia filter on it.
Like my
And that was
status for truth
huge.
is like
Oh
my status for
my
truth is, hey guys, dropping my
God.
Ask FM. I'll be answering questions.
Oh my God.
We were talking the other day about how like not even the other day, today, how trains and I will tack on public transportation underrated. We
So
know this.
underrated.
Here's the thing, we know this, but I'm not seeing enough of my friends acting on this. I'll
Yeah.
say it. I'll say it. We should be okay. This is another thing I'm thinking about. When I say back the blue, I mean the CTA.
The blue line,
I
bitch.
I truly, yes, when I say back the blue, I mean the CTA and I also
Division
mean
blue line.
I mean the USPS. But
Yeah.
I truly think bus drivers and train drivers should be millionaires. If we paid our bus drivers and our train drivers more, we would have more buses, we would have more trains. Our public transit would be operating like a clock
They would be
because
sexier. They would get work done.
everyone's life would be better if
Exactly.
bus drivers and train drivers were millionaires. So
Yes.
let's make it happen.
Diva down. Like I need you to be up to be down. And
Mhm.
I need to take an Amtrak train across the entire nation. That's
Because
what I want.
I need 4 days to sit and think.
Whatever happened to the vacation? The journey being the vacation. I
Mhm.
think we need a copyright for Amtrak. But no, it's like seriously, like there is not enough. I'm always going to be an urban fucking planning nerd where it's like there's never going to be enough trains. Never going to be enough trains. Never going to be enough public transit,
No, because
transit in
we
general.
build cities to be parking lots.
And we made a deal with the automotive industry in the middle of the last century. And here we are. Huge
Mhm.
fumble. Totally fumbled the bag. You could have had a bad bitch, but you fumbled. Right, right.
Yeah,
I could be
right.
still looking out the window and looking at evergreens on my way to fucking Denver, but here we are. Right, right. Well, I mean, there's an Amtrak to Denver, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, and
You
I
know what I'm
agree
saying.
with you. I agree with you.
Incredibly underrated, but I think Thomas is overrated. I will say that.
Thomas the Train.
Thomas the Train,
Oh my
what an
God.
unsettling fucking thing. And everyone,
Yeah,
I do love it for the lessons that you do learn, but putting a face on a train, what were
come on.
we? Should someone check the carbon monoxide detector?
Have you seen just talking about something about that made me think of this. Have you seen Baby Girl?
No. Nicole Kidman.
I
Nicole
loved it.
Kidman.
Underrated going to the movies.
I
Ticket
need
sales are down.
Keith Urban. Keith Urban is underrated. I'll say it. I'll say it with my whole chest. I'd suck that man. I'm not going to say which part, but out of respect for my country, and he's Australian, I give him a lick.
Keith
I
Urban
would
is
give him 2
Australian?
licks. Keith Urban is Australian,
I didn't know
and
that.
Nicole Kidman is either South African or Australian. I think South
She's
African.
Australian. Charlize
Australian.
Theron is
Charlize
South
Theron,
African.
right? Because Charlize was eating the fucking mung worms and shit. She was eating like worms, which is they eat that in South Africa and some parts of Africa as well. Other
Mhm.
parts, the protein, baby.
I saw Baby Girl.
How was it?
It was
Underrated or overrated?
I would say under. My takeaway with Baby Girl is I'm gonna start doing the Baby Girl challenge. Which is when I asked my boyfriend if I can do the Baby Girl challenge, and he says yes. And then I go stand in a corner and I put my head on the wall. It's kind of like planking or the cinnamon challenge. Ice bucket challenge.
All I know about Baby Girl is that it's like this young businessman who's like seducing this big sexy CEO lady, and now she's like, "Ooh, do I horn up, slide, whatever, or like do I get my shit together because I'm a grown ass fucking woman and I own like a 500 company?"
Yeah, she doesn't get her shit together at all.
I don't even give a fuck. Fuck the morals. I'm trying to slip and slide in this theater. So is it worth it in that underrated, overrated? Like, is the sexual tension enough to go see this movie, or is it just a total bust?
I would say yes, because it's done through the gaze of like what the woman wants.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that honestly, what's gonna make me nut is seeing a woman win.
Yeah.
The only girl power movie I watched was Wicked. Wicked.
Oh,
Wicked. And everybody wins in that movie.
yeah.
Even the
And
green
guess
bitch.
what? I'm dancing through life. I'm dancing through life.
Dancing through life.
Life.
But I would say that Ariana Grande is overrated. I'm kind of over it. I'm rested. I need to be rested. I just, no more. No more. Ever since Mac Miller died, I don't need to hear about Ariana Grande anymore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ariana. I know that really meant something to her.
Would you say like pop stars in general are overrated?
I think all celebrities are, every single fucking one. Even Lorde, which breaks my heart. There are some like my faves are like Lorde, Allison Janney.
Yeah.
Like there's like
During
Billy
that
Crystal.
rotation.
Billy Crystal. But what sucks is I fucking hate celebrities. I just hate celebrities. It's hard for me to humanize celebrities. Like it is difficult for me, and I think they're very, 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 very overrated because we
I
are all the
honestly-
fucking same. What's next? Push it.
What's next on overrated, underrated?
Yes.
We already talked about social media and
Boo.
train/public transit.
Love her.
I think underrated is little walks. Little walks.
Oh my god. Or just
Fresh
doing shit
air.
for free.
Yes.
Just doing shit for free. Because I mean,
This-
like, you live in Chicago. It's such a
Yes.
consumption city. Every
God,
hangout, I mean, when I was living in Chicago, every hangout would be like, oh my god, do you want to go to this restaurant? And it's like, do you know that I don't even have enough energy left to live, let alone monetary
Spend?
energy in my fucking
Yeah.
pocket?
I mean,
Like,
even
hello.
this morning, Max and I just like stayed in this morning and took it real easy, real
Yeah.
cozy. But there was still this like voice in my head of like, "Oh, you need to go out and pick up coffee, or you need to go out and like buy food and breakfast at home." And it's like, no, we really can just like make breakfast at home and then chill out.
Would
You
you
know,
say that energy and that feeling is fueled by the capitalist system that we do live within?
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, 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 ding. And you know what else is overrated? I'm sorry, I know we'll go back to small little walks, but overrated capitalism. Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Did you know
That's
that
an ouch.
not Scotland, but Ireland is moving towards a wellness system?
Mm.
Do a
Mm.
Google. Ireland's really doing some sexy, the Republic of Ireland is doing some sexy, sexy things in the government front. And I'm really excited to see what's up because I'm kind of thinking about moving to Cork because that's where my Venus line is and I'm trying to find love. Dykes in Ireland, please hit me up. I want to see you and I want to be you. But little walks. Whatever happened to just taking little walks? I love taking little walks, like meditation walks, walking in general. Opening. I have an insulin resistant body, so little walks are important to me to open those little hinges. Okay, get it going so I can take a shit as well. Holy fuck! Do you know how much better your body is just feeling when you just do a little move once a
Mhm.
day? You do a little move once a day, and you're like, wow, I'm doing it. I am Jillian fucking Michaels, besides the bigotry.
I do agree, and this has been one of my um like argument points in favor of people adopting or fostering dogs because you do
Yeah.
have to take them out on walks. And honestly, maybe humans should be going for walks too. I'm not saying we have to shit outside, but we can easily just be like, "Oh, you know what? I feel like it's been a couple hours. I think I need to go for a walk around the block."
Little walks, but other things too. Like just being out in nature. Fucking trees are so
Oh my
special.
God, I would do
Trees are
any.
so special.
That is something that I miss. You know, before living in Chicago, being in San Diego was just like the sunsets. And you don't really
Yeah.
get sunsets in Chicago, or you don't see the horizon line. And I never realized how much I would really miss that because we get shorter sunsets because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's totally true. And it's
Mhm.
I was like driving home today and I watched the sunset and it was like on the Los Hills, which is in the middle of fucking nowhere. But it's just beautiful and there's like the ripples and like the ridges in the earth that
And the
rise to the
Riptide by Vance
sun
Joy.
and the riptide by Vance Joy, who's also Australian. I love Vance Joy. Whatever happened to just having a nice time? It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be your fucking dreams. But can we just be like, wow, this is nice. That's nice. That's nice.
Something I'm trying to work on this year. Something I'm trying to do is like set up coffee dates with friends and just
Yeah.
like set up intentional time of being like, I care about this person. This person I believe adds value to my life, fills my life with gorgeous textures.
But being intentional with your relationships, like I really try and honor that. And especially because like I feel that I have lost and also like what's underrated is just renewing your friendship pool. Honestly, I'm like in this process right now where I'm really like renewing like I'm getting not the impurities, but it's just like I'm rediverting my energy from like people that I don't really align with and like putting it more into myself and the people that are really in this bitch and are about me. And what does that mean? I mean, I think I'm still figuring that out, but like really being, I think with that self-awareness that I said was underrated. Being self-aware and also like what is the experience I'm having with this person and not seeing this person as like fucked up or that I hate them or anything or like I don't like them, but it's like at the bare bones of it all, what is our relationship built on? And I think like those conversations that you have with yourself and others too is underrated. Let's think about it. Who do I really want to give my
Yeah.
energy and my time and my love to?
Yeah. And I feel like it's just like time goes by. I'm like, man, I know I love these people, but I don't have time with them because I'm not making time with them. So I think that's just something I'm really working on. It's just valuing it. And also, it's really hard for me to make new friends. And so because of that, like I'll have someone that I'm like, oh, you're my friend. I love this person. I see them as family. I don't spend time with them. You know what I mean? So I think I'm just trying to really incorporate quality time as a love language with friends.
Yeah.
Um, it's really nice because growing up, my friends meant everything to me. Like they were my sense of support that I needed growing up. And I think just moving out to Chicago and being a young adult out there trying to make it on their own, like I would work instead of hang out. Like I didn't
Yeah.
get to be like a normal college kid that was like, oh, I'm gonna go to all these parties. I'm like, no, I'm working a double 4 days in a row. So I can't, you know what I mean? Like there are just so many things that I missed out on when I was in my early 20s because I was working. And now that I'm working just a little bit less, I'm doing 2 jobs instead of 3.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, now it's my time to like, nurture these friendships. So that's kind of an underrated and huge, I would say, my main focus point for this year.
Sounds like when you went to college and you really had to put your nose to the grindstone and like really make something out of yourself. You like kind of like switching friendship from like kind of like a luxury / privilege thing of like, because it is. I mean, to have that free time to afford having friends, you literally have to afford to have friends now, which I think is fucking terrible. I
Yeah.
just think it's terrible. And because like if you were like me from fucking 2014 to 2022, you looked at time and you said that literally has a price tag on it.
Yeah, this has a monetary value.
That
and
literally
it
has
needs
monetary
to-
value. And I think I would rather make $1.
I really am working hard to like push myself to make this intentional time that has a different value. So the value being like it works and nurtures my relationships. Whereas before that value would be like monetary out of like means for survival, really. Just like
What?
hustling, like trying to pay rent, And
Yeah.
it's so funny. And I know I told you the other week of like, I see a weekly therapist for trauma therapy, and I've been seeing her for, it'll be a year and a couple months. So I just made the breakthrough of, wait, do I make myself as busy as possible because of a trauma response? And she was like, yeah, like, how did you not know that? And it really was like the biggest fucking light bulb I've ever had. And I'm like, wait, so all of the like extracurriculars, like if you know me, I probably annoy the shit out of you with how busy I am. And it's bad. Like, and I realized like, oh, it's a damn trauma response. So like I'm 27 and now I'm like, wait, so now I need to figure out who I am outside of like me behaving under pressure from trauma. Like
Yes.
what am I like when I'm just around friends and there's no pressure to succeed, there's no expectations, you know what I mean?
Who am I without the hoops? Literally, who am I without the hoops?
Oh man.
Because I just want to say, like, I
Yeah.
went on a very, very, very similar journey. Like when, I was working at the second city, fucking working like 60-hour weeks as a quote unquote part-time person with no benefits. But like working that much and then COVID hitting, losing my job, sitting there, having mental breakdowns and going, who the fuck am I if I am not constantly being distracted? Well, is that the end of our list?
I think so. I mean, I don't have any more underrated, overrated for right now. I mean, we did say earlier, some bitches are way overrated. And honestly, I agree. Some
Yeah.
bitches are so overrated that I'm just like,
Some bitches are so overrated. Nepo babies are overrated to me.
my reaction is just exhaustion. Like, I'm just over it. Can we be a little bit more interesting?
Yeah. So what is one thing that you are going to alchemize this week?
Meals. I need to cook for myself more.
That is such a cool way of thinking about cooking.
Yeah. I need to cook for myself. Had a fun conversation with my therapist about food.
Yeah.
And how wide scope it is. And I'm just trying to be like, I don't know. I think I get really overwhelmed when it comes to cooking. I know I love it, but sometimes I think about like the time, the ingredients, the money, the mess.
Mm-hmm.
I get overwhelmed, and then that feeling of being overwhelmed kills my appetite. And then I go, oh, well, I thought about it for a second and now I'm not hungry. You know what I mean? I discourage myself. And I don't know where that came from because I really do love cooking. I love cooking for others. I love cooking for my loved ones. So I think I just need to create some better reminders that I like doing that,
Yeah, absolutely. I got this tip one time from a friend who said to always have a dinner snack, like when you're like a cooking snack. So when you are cooking, you have a snack because you can because I always go to make dinner and then I'm so fucking hungry and then I'm like, fuck this, and then I eat something totally random. And instead it's like you set yourself up. I've been trying to do that lately. One thing that I'm going to alchemize is changing awkward situations into chill vibes.
How are you going to do that?
I
Like, I want
think
an
just
example.
literally relaxing my butthole because I think that
Oh my
when we think about, I think like
So
early,
anytime someone does something awkward in front of you, you're just gonna do poppers.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Or a different type of muscle relaxer. But I think no, I think that for me, I've just been socially anxious recently. I was in like a group setting yesterday and I got anxious and in my head and I had those thoughts of like, oh God, I would rather be anywhere but here. And instead, I kind of looked within myself, like the two wolves turned to each other and then one wolf said to the other, actually, let's just make the most out of this bitch. And it was really nice. It was
I
really
like
nice.
that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I
But
think that's how.
I like that. And I hope you make the most out of your week. Juice that lemon, baby.
Juice the lemon.
You've been listening to Gabbing, unfiltered, unsolicited, and undeniably brilliant. We're streaming on Spotify and YouTube, so subscribe, share, and don't act like you didn't love it. Until next time, keep flapping those jaws, baby.